17 shots. That's how many bullets ended the life of wrestling superstar Dino Bravo. But the real story starts long before that tragic night. From the bright lights of the WWF to the dark underworld of organized crime, Dino Bravo's journey will keep you on the edge. Dino Bravo, born Adolfo Bresciano, was a Canadian wrestler who found fame in the 1980s. Known for his powerful build and immense strength, he became a fixture in the WWF during its golden era. But as with many wrestlers of the time, his story isn't just about the glory in the ring, it's also about the dark side of fame and a mysterious and tragic death. Let's break it down. All right, let's talk about the elephant in the room, organized crime. Word is that Bravo got involved with the cautionary crime family, a major organized crime group in Montreal. Now, that's not exactly the post-wrestling career people might expect, but Bravo was reportedly drawn in by the big money in an illegal business: cigarette smuggling. Believe it or not, smuggling cigarettes was incredibly profitable back then in Canada. Taxes were high, and the black market for cigarettes was booming. For someone like Bravo, it might have seemed like an easy way to make fast cash. Unfortunately, it put him right in the middle of a dangerous world. And as time went on, rumors started swirling that Bravo wasn't just involved in cigarette smuggling. There were whispers about possible drug trafficking too. Now, we usually hear about wrestlers going into acting, maybe writing a book or starting a business, but it was a shock for everyone who knew him. Yet for Bravo, it seemed like just another way to stay afloat financially. But organized crime is never a safe game, and Bravo was playing it at a high-stakes level. Then came the fateful night of March 10th, 1993. Bravo was at home, relaxing, watching a hockey game in his Laval, Quebec home. A pretty regular night, but it ended in tragedy. Bravo was found dead, slumped in his chair, shot 17 times. That's right, 7 bullets to the head and 10 to the torso. If that doesn't scream professional hit, I don't know what does. And it's heartbreaking to think about, really. He was once cheered on by fans, only to meet a tragic end alone in his living room. Police immediately launched an investigation, but they hit a wall. Despite their efforts, the case went cold pretty quickly. The thing that really made them suspicious? There was no sign of forced entry, meaning Bravo likely knew his killers and let them in. This one fact fueled all kinds of theories. Maybe Bravo had been silenced to stop him from revealing secrets about the Cautionary family's operations, or maybe it was a disagreement with someone in the organization. Either way, the whole thing looked like a classic mob-style execution. One last twist adds even more mystery to the story. A briefcase thought to contain important documents about Bravo's criminal activities vanished from the crime scene. No one knows what was in it or why it disappeared. Did it have information that could have pointed to his killers? We might never know, but it's one of those details that makes his story feel like a real-life crime thriller. Dino Bravo's story isn't just about his wrestling fame, it's a cautionary tale. Here's a guy who had it all in the wrestling world, but ended up entangled with dangerous people, all because he was looking for a way to make ends meet. Fame didn't protect him from the dark choices he made outside the ring, and his story is a sobering reminder of the risks of getting involved in the wrong circles. Now, if you followed wrestling in the 1980s, you know that steroid use was rampant across the industry. Wrestlers had these massive physiques, and Bravo was no exception. Though it was never proven, it's widely believed that he used steroids to build his famously muscular body. He had the nickname, the world's strongest man, after all. But this wasn't just about looking good. Wrestlers were under constant pressure to look bigger and stronger, and that sometimes led to extreme measures. So while we can't say for certain if Bravo used steroids, it's safe to say that he was surrounded by an environment where steroid use was almost the norm. Moving on, Bravo's relationship with the WWF wasn't always smooth sailing. In 1986, he was scheduled to face Hulk Hogan for the WWF Championship in his hometown of Montreal. Imagine the hype, a hometown hero taking on the biggest star in wrestling. It would have been huge, but the WWF worried that the Montreal crowd might actually root for Bravo over Hogan. So at the last minute, they scrapped the match. Bravo was furious, feeling that his big moment had been stolen. He even left the company for a short time over this decision. For a wrestler, a championship match, especially in front of a hometown crowd, is a career-defining moment. Losing it was a huge blow for Bravo. Then when Bravo eventually returned to the WWF, fans noticed something different. Gone was the friendly, crowd favorite Dino. In his place was a villainous character with a more arrogant attitude. This change wasn't just in his personality, but in his entire wrestling persona. He was the bad guy now, And while that worked for some wrestlers, it didn't really click with Bravo's fan base. The character change distanced him from the fans who'd rooted for him before, and his popularity suffered. It's tough for wrestlers because changing personas can either skyrocket their careers or take away the qualities fans loved. In the end, Dino Bravo's story is one of talent and tragedy. He was an incredibly skilled wrestler, physically powerful, and had the potential to be a lasting legend in the sport. But his life took him down some dark and dangerous paths. Sure, there were some dark moments in his career, but no one could take away the fact that he was truly a legend in the ring. To give a homage to his legacy here is a quick rundown of his career for the real fans. Dino Bravo, whose real name was Adolfo Bresciano, was born on August 6, 1948 in Campobasso, Italy. His family moved to Canada when he was young, and he grew up in Montreal. From an early age, he had a passion for wrestling and began training in amateur wrestling by the time he was 12. Later on, he was trained by wrestling legend Dino Bravo, who helped launch Bravo's professional wrestling career in the 1970s. Bravo kicked off his career with Grand Prix Wrestling in Quebec, where he debuted in 1972, defeating a wrestler named Frenchie Martin. Shortly after, he teamed up with his mentor, Dino Bravo, and together they won their first championship, the Grand Prix Tag Team Championship. The two became a formidable team and took on popular wrestling figures like the Vachon, Butcher, and Mad Dog Vachon. Their first championship reign lasted until 1974, but Bravo's career was only just starting to gain momentum. In 1974, Bravo took his talents to NWA Hollywood, where he quickly found success, teaming up with Victor Rivera to capture the NWA Hollywood Tag Team Championship. After some time in Hollywood, he moved to the International Wrestling Association, where he teamed up with Dino Bravo once again. While he didn't win titles in every match, his popularity and wrestling skills kept climbing. Bravo continued to compete in various wrestling promotions, gaining experience and refining his style. In Georgia Championship Wrestling, he teamed up with Jerry Briscoe and took on some of the top tag teams in the territory. He also had matches against wrestling legends like Randy Savage and Tony Charles, adding to his growing reputation. In 1976, Bravo moved to Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling, where he found great success. He teamed up with Mr. Wrestling Tim Woods, and together they won the NWA World Tag Team Championship by defeating Gene and Ole Anderson. This was a big moment in Bravo's career, solidifying him as one of wrestling's rising stars. Bravo and Woods held on to their title for several months, successfully defending it against various teams before eventually losing it back to the Andersons. Bravo didn't stay down for long. Later that year, he captured the NWA Mid-Atlantic Tag Team Championship again with Woods in a tournament. The two continued their partnership, facing off against teams like the Hollywood Blondes and forming a fierce rivalry with stars like Ric Flair and Blackjack Mulligan. Bravo's popularity earned him a spot with the Worldwide Wrestling Federation, WWF, which later became the WWF and then WWE. In early 1978, he formed a popular tag team with Dominic DeNucci. Bravo and DeNucci soon made headlines when they defeated Mr. Fuji and Toru Tanaka to win the WWF World Tag Team Championship. They became fan favorites and defended their title against well-known teams, building a strong following. However, they eventually lost the championship to the Yukon Lumberjacks in 1978. After that, Bravo shifted his focus to singles competition within the WWF, squaring off against stars like superstar Billy Graham and Luke Graham. His ability to transition between tag team and singles matches added to his popularity. In 1979, Dino Bravo made a major move by joining the American Wrestling Association, AWA, after giving up his Canadian Heavyweight Championship title. His debut came in October at a 17-man battle royal in St. Paul, Minnesota, where Andre the Giant claimed victory. Bravo, however, began his AWA journey undefeated, securing wins over notable wrestlers like Buddy Wolf, Sergeant Slaughter, as Super Destroyer Mark II, and Lord Alfred Hayes. His winning streak finally ended in January 1980 when he lost to Adrian Adonis in Green Bay, Wisconsin. In February of that same year, Bravo earned a shot at the AWA Heavyweight Championship, where he faced Nick Bockwinkel. Though he won the match by disqualification, the title didn't change hands. Bravo then formed a tag team with Greg Gagne, challenging the AWA Tag Team Champions, Jesse Ventura and Adrian Adonis, in a series of matches, though they never claimed the titles. Bravo's last AWA match came in January 1981, where he emerged victorious against Ben DeLeon on AWA All-Star Wrestling. Bravo took his career international in 1981, joining New Japan Pro Wrestling. In his first match for the promotion, he teamed up with Riki Choshu, but was defeated by the legendary duo of Stan Hansen and Hulk Hogan. Still, Bravo found success throughout the tour, winning matches against fighters like Ryumago and Kengo Kimura. Returning a year later, Bravo teamed with Adrian Adonis in the prestigious MSG Tag Team League, but met mixed success, winning some matches and losing others, including a notable victory when he teamed up with Andre the Giant to defeat Abdullah the Butcher and Billy Robinson in Tokyo. In 1981, Bravo joined a Canadian promotion called Verusak Promotions, which later became known as International Wrestling. Bravo quickly became a big name, winning the International Heavyweight Championship. He faced wrestling giants like Abdullah the Butcher and Stan Hansen in intense matches, some ending in no contest due to their intensity. Bravo's popularity grew, and he eventually became a part owner of the promotion. He held on to the championship for long stretches, defending it against top wrestlers. Even when he lost the title, he often regained it, including a victory in 1985 with wrestling legend Verna Gagne as the special referee. Bravo even got the chance to take on tag team champions, the Road Warriors, proving he could go toe-to-toe with the best. In 1985, Bravo returned to the World Wrestling Federation, WWF, where he was introduced as the Canadian heavyweight champion. He started out strong, teaming up with King Tonga to defeat tough opponents like the Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov. Bravo also scored some impressive singles wins, including one over the rising star Randy Savage. During this time, Bravo was a crowd favorite, especially in his home country. But as time went on, Bravo underwent a big change. By 1986, he had transformed his look, going blonde and adopting a new strongman persona. He left his technical wrestling roots behind, focusing instead on powerful moves like body slams and clotheslines. Bravo continued with ups and downs. He had big feuds with wrestlers like Ken Patera, the Ultimate Warrior, and even Randy Savage. His power and persona made him a unique figure in the WWF, and he teamed up with some of the Federation's strongest competitors. Even though he didn't reach the top championship levels in WWF, Bravo became a memorable personality with fans remembering him for his blend of Canadian pride and strongman prowess. In 1989, Dino Bravo kicked off the year by clashing with Jim Duggan in a series of flag matches. Duggan managed to score a big televised win over Bravo on January 30th, 1989. Bravo then joined forces with the fabulous Rougeau brothers at the Royal Rumble, but lost in a 2 out of 3 falls match against Duggan and the Hart Foundation. In February, Bravo took on Brutus Beefcake, leading to a double countout. Bravo's manager, Frenchie Martin, got an unexpected haircut from Beefcake after the match. Around this time, Bravo also got the chance to wrestle Hulk Hogan in Montreal, though Hogan came out on top. As WrestleMania 5 rolled around, Bravo claimed a victory over Ronnie Garvin, but was attacked afterward, leading to Garvin's signature Garvin Stomp. April saw a big change as Jimmy Hart took over as Bravo's manager. Moving on from Dugan, Bravo shifted his focus to Hercules, winning most of their encounters until a reversal in one June match. Bravo's year continued with several tag team efforts and his alliance with Greg Valentine. The two often faced off against the Hart Foundation and others, with mixed success. Bravo's feud with the Ultimate Warrior picked up steam in late 1989, where he was bested by the Powerhouse. Alongside Earthquake, Bravo then shifted to tag team matches, often going head-to-head with Hulk Hogan and Tugboat in 1990. This rivalry lasted through SummerSlam and the Survivor Series, where Bravo was eliminated by Hogan. In 1991, Bravo faced off with various opponents like Davey Boy Smith, but struggled to secure consistent victories. By 1992, Bravo wrestled his retirement match against the Barbarian in Montreal, though he briefly returned for a European tour. After wrapping up his wrestling career, Bravo focused on training new wrestlers in Montreal. Dino Bravo's journey in wrestling was truly unforgettable. Known for his strength, charisma, and powerful build, he captivated fans around the world and earned his place as a legend in the ring. But as we've seen, his story didn't end with his wrestling career. Like many wrestlers of his time, he faced the struggle of finding stability after the spotlight faded. For Bravo, that journey led him into the shadowy world of organized crime, a decision that ultimately had fatal consequences. His involvement in cigarette smuggling, the alleged ties to the Catroni crime family, and the whispers of other illegal activities added layers to his story that were as intriguing as they were tragic. It's a cautionary tale that fame and fortune in the ring don't always translate to security outside of it. Bravo's decisions off the mat brought him into dangerous circles, and while he may have believed it was just another way to get by, it was a high-stakes game that didn't end well. His mysterious death, which still haunts fans and remains unsolved, speaks to the dark side of a life entangled in crime. Despite the darker parts of his journey, Dino Bravo left a mark on the wrestling world that will never be forgotten. His powerful presence, dedication to his craft, and connection with fans made him a truly memorable figure in wrestling's golden era. Reflecting on his life, it's clear that Bravo's story is both a celebration of his talent and a sobering reminder of the dangers that come with certain choices outside the ring. If you enjoyed this look back at the life and legacy of Dino Bravo, make sure to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe for more stories about wrestling legends and tap the bell icon so you'll know as soon as we release a new video. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more in-depth looks at the biggest names in wrestling.